Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're going to be doing our weekly wrap-up for this past week. So first, we're going to start with announcements, and I wanted to take this moment to announce that we have created a Patreon page for our channel. I will put the link in the description. There's no pressure, but if you feel like you wanted to support us in our videos, feel free to go join the Patreon and become a book addict. Now on to our book mail. Thank you, Evie, who is our first Patreon book addict, actually. She sent me 3 books in the mail, and I can't wait to read all of these. First book is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takuta Hall. This I was surprised to get, but look at the cover. It's such a beautiful cover. I can't wait to read this because it sounds like such a unique and interesting book. Next book up that I got is a classic, Middlemarch by George Eliot. This I can't wait to read, but that's probably going to be later this year, maybe next year, because it's a ginormous book. But I've been wanting to read this book for so long, so thank you, Evie. And last but not least is White Teeth by Zadie Smith. And this and Middlemarch are both bibliotherapy books, so I can't wait to add that to my stock. They'll be available at theliteraryapothecary.com if you want to purchase. Now on to our books finished this week. So I technically finished Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe. I DNF'd this book. It just felt boring and flat to me, and the one thing that I was interested in, the whole Blackbird magic thing that they had, it took too long to get to. I made it to about 45% of the way through the book, and this was still just a rumor there, and nothing was happening with it. So it had great reviews on Goodreads, and I really was excited to read it, but it just wasn't for me. But it might be, just because it wasn't for me, it might be for you. So let me know if you read it, and I'd love to know what your thoughts. The other book that I finished this week, I actually finished this just this morning, is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. This book was so good. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. There will be a review for this coming next week. I can't wait to read book 2, but that ending, this is where I start talking spoilers. I was not expecting any of that. Hawk is the Dark One, Círdan is a Wolven, the Ascended create the Craven, Poppy is part Atlantean, now she's going to go and marry Hawk in Atlantia. This whole book was the writing style of Jennifer Armentrout, at least in this one book experience that I have for her, is so good. It kept me interested throughout the whole book. There wasn't a time where I was bored with the writing, which doesn't happen often with me. And I was hooked with the main character. Usually I'm more attracted to the side characters, but in From Blood and Ash, I was hooked with Poppy from the start. So that was a really nice change. I really enjoyed this, and like I said, I can't wait to go into book 2 very soon. Now into our current reads. So yes, I'm still reading Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. This, like I've said before, this is a buddy read that is going through February and March. I'm way behind on the buddy read for this, but I'm hoping to catch up a little this weekend. I got sidetracked with other reads and homework and stuff going on in life, but I'm hoping to get caught up a little bit on this. I do have a couple notes from book 2, chapter 7. We learn that the elder is dying, and he tells Alyosha that he has to leave the monastery. It's not the place for him. We also learn that the Karamazovs has caused some kind of a scandal at dinner with the Father Superior. And so those are my thoughts so far on the Brothers Karamazov, and like I said, I'm hoping to catch up on this a little bit this weekend, so more on that to come. And then the other book, a book that I started this week, is Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett, and I am loving this so much. This is the 3rd book in the City Watch Discworld series, and I just love Terry Pratchett so much. His writing style is so funny and such a breath of fresh air in all of the serious books that I've been reading. So far in the Feet of Clay, I've got a couple different quotes that I've pulled out. One is from a cameo appearance by Death, and he says, "I am death, not taxes. I turn up only once." We learn that Vime's ancestors killed the last king of Ankh-Morpork, and I think if I remember right, we actually learned this in book 2, and we're being kind of reminded of it again here, but I might be wrong about that. Let me know if I'm wrong. We also, Vimes says that he loves to walk around the city, so naturally the patrician has gifted him a sedan chair, so he can't do just that. But Vimes takes this and flips it, and he actually walks the chair instead of having the servants walk in. The servants get to ride in the chair, which is a funny flip. We learned that Nobby is an earl, and the guy at the coat of arms place asks Vimes, does he own property? And Vimes says, only other people's, which gives a great insight into Nobby's character. A couple more quotes that I pulled out. Stupid men are often capable of things the clever would never dare to contemplate. He had that special type of stupidity that was hard to fool, but the only thing more difficult than getting him to grasp an idea was getting him to let go of it. And we also learn in Feet of Clay the patrician, who I'm finally now seeing the patrician as Library of Alexandria has talked about him. We're finally getting like that true patrician feel in this book. The patrician has been poisoned. And now Vimes is trying to figure out who was the person that poisoned the patrician. And the last quote I have so far for Feet of Clay is, it should not be possible for a knock to sound surreptitious, yet this knock achieved it. And so that's where I'm at right now with Feet of Clay. I'm loving this book so much. If you haven't read the Discworld series yet, you should start reading that now. Library of Alexandria has a great video on different places where you can jump into the Discworld series because there's so many books. I'm going to link that video here in the description too. Go check it out. I love Alan. His videos are fantastic. He puts so much into his videos and he deserves all the support. And one last thing, as you know, I talk about books that I'm going to hopefully start this coming week. So now that I finished From Blood and Ash, I will be starting Jade City by Fonda Lee tonight, finally. A buddy read over on Shelf Space, and I can't wait to get into this. I've heard great things about this book, and I really wanted to get to this before the new book comes out in a couple months. And then once I finished Feet of Clay, I'll be starting in on An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and this is another buddy read with a bunch of my friends on Discord, with Anya and Abby and Charmaine and Katrina and Angela and Sharon and Zara, and I think that's everyone there. And they all loved this book, so I can't wait to get into this book, which is yet another new series that'll be starting, but I can't wait for them. So that's my check-in for now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we got new videos coming out. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.